No, start the game. Do. Ah, back in style, back in business, back with a bouncing avatar now. Bounces, bounces. Yeah, and we need to see what happens next. We are mostly reading adventure, so I think we only had one decision so far. In like 5 hours of reading. One decision that killed us, but you can't really, continue in the game without that, so that doesn't count. And we decided we might I don't know, not be with the council or something. Let's see. Some cool music, the game. It got some cool music. I know an answer to that one. A researcher's mindset. She doesn't think it's worth considering the worst case scenario seriously and just takes things as they come. Precisely. If, for example, climate change scientists don't operate this way, most would have put a bucket in their, a bullet in their own head long ago. Bullets. That's a cheery thought. I'd like to research the chantry of Agathon whereabouts. Our good sheriff already did that long ago. You'd be wasting your time. And ours, for that matter. Didn't you say Helene was waiting for us, Kadir? Give the girl 15 minutes, I think, a minimum support for an outgoing investigation, and besides, She has a proclivity to finding things everyone else has overlooked. 10 minutes. And if you attempt to pass this door or up one up there, I can't guarantee you'll walk out of here alive. Thank you very much, Height Regent. Just get on with it. My time here is practically up, and I've found nothing of use. It seems Agathon was completely dedicated to his work. Even his personal quarters are as barren as it gets. No personal touch whatsoever. Nothing I could go by. It's all research, research, research. He seemed like such a bore. Focus, Julia. What would you do if you were a warlock workaholic? Warlock workaholic. Nice. Where would you leave clues to your whereabouts? What would you do if you found yourself in mortal danger and wanted Dakota to know? It's loose. What was that? Yeah, it was facing this way, huh? I approached the place where I saw the shadowy silhouette appear. It's a brick wall, and one of the bricks is loose. Ooh, loosey-goosey. Kadir and Aisling are in another room right now, still discussing the party. It's not too bad. You ought to learn how to find humor in the little things. It's demeaning, Sheriff, and there's to it. It's time. I work the brick loose until I can grip it. Then I tug it as silently as possible, revealing a hole in the wall. Inside there is a book. I browse through it quickly. Agathon's diary. It's a bingo. She's kind of cheating, you know. She's not like a great detective. She's making the ghosts do all the work. Your 10 minutes are up. So are your 15 minutes, in fact. Are you done here? If I could just get 5 more minutes, I still feel I could stumble upon something here if I look a little more. No way, Julia. Time to go. Fine. I put the brick back and take the diary with me. It did look like Agathon left it so that someone in the chantry could find it, presumably the High Regent. But my investigation takes priority now. For now. I bid Kadir and Aisling adieu and start looking for a secluded place to start reading the diary. This plate right here should be secluded enough for me to browse through the diary in peace. I start quickly skimming the book, slinging out sentences and paragraphs that look interesting, trying to get a general idea of what kind of person Agathon was. Or is, I hope. The more I read, the clearer the image of the person becomes. He's been working under the High Regent for 15 years. There is an underlying shame in the way he talks about Tremere magic. He always describes himself as too slow on the uptake, too late to learn something, too much of an amateur. There's a nice picture of that ghostly dude in the smoke. He was really into trying himself, his self-work into this wisdom. Yeah, tying his self-worth. The entries begin in 2012 are terrifyingly regular. The handwriting is extraordinarily neat. The author's absolute dedication to his studies are palpable. If there is anything to this life besides work, it's his relationship with the three important women he holds dear. The first is his master, Aisling Stebridge, whom he reveres for her knowledge, stoicism, and willingness to experiment. I was hoping to find some details about her secretive work here, but no dice. Looks like he was willing to risk someone finding all about his inner life, but not anything that could harm her studies. Oh, you know what? Now that we have our little avatar here, we could experiment a bit. So let's turn that off. Turn this one on. Ah! Yeah. It's kind of the same, right? Bouncy, bouncy. 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 Kinda. Yeah, kinda the same. A good pupil, serving a good mentor. I'm jealous. The second, another warlock, his ex-lover Juno, whom he feels guilty about. They had a conflict in which Aisling was involved. Having to choose between the two, he chose Aisling. According to Agathon, there was never real love between him and Juno. First, it was just shared interest, then a growing discontent, and ultimately guilt, which made him feel responsible for her. But maybe it's just excuses. He strikes me as the kind of person who spends most of his time inside his head. Doesn't sound like someone you would have a fulfilling romance with. Don't dwell on it. Don't dwell on it. I know what you're doing, Julia. But this is not a rabbit hole you would want to get stuck in right now. Keep reading. Anyway. Last but not least, Agathon's mortal grandmother, Sylvia. She's the light of his life, and the person who took care of him after his parents died in a ritual murder. Not quite what I expected. Her family used to serve a cruel vampire in New Mexico City, and it was retribution for their escape. She was the lead Tremere, used to track him down, actually. Okay. He was keeping her alive for a long time, but a few months ago her heart gave out. Agathon blamed his insufficient skills, the kind of man who carries the entire world on his shoulders. Left alone with Aisling, he drowned himself in work and eventually burned out. But it doesn't sound like Sylvia's death was the only event that triggered his depression spiral. There was some kind of incident back in 2019. He doesn't cite specifics. Another thing he was worried about writing down. It's all vague mentions of a person who made him fly too close to the sun. Icarus. Whatever happened, it had the same effect as his grandmother's death. New York stopped feeling like a home to him. It became alien, empty, grotesque. His words. I checked the first page. There is a recent photograph of him glued to the inner side of the cover. He's facing away from the camera, only showing his profile and striking a rather dramatic pose. At first it kind of looks poserish to me. However, upon closer inspection, it seems like a goodbye photo. The final melodramatic glance he throws in our direction before disappearing for good. He knows what's going to happen to him. There is also a single black feather. No idea what it means. He was a light reader. Something's written next to the photograph with a lot of flourish, like a poem. More than annoyed, sad. More than happy, unhappy. More than sad, unhappy. I like mine better. More than unhappy, suffering. More than suffering, abandoned. More than abandoned, alone in the world. More than alone, exiled. More than exiled, dead. More than dead, forgotten. The Sedative, 1917, by Marie Lorekin. Looks like he wrote it down recently. It might have resonated with his emotional state over the past few months. Most importantly, it seems to confirm his intent with this diary to me. The general idea seems to be his research will outlive him, and he doesn't detail it. Still, he wanted some kind of tangible memory of who he was, who he has left for posterity. But that's not all. There is still a mystery to be solved. Quite a few pages toward the end are missing, but it doesn't look like they're necessarily removed to redact information. They were torn off in a way that makes it clear the paper wasn't ever used. What's more, the preceding pages are empty as well. Could it be that that's when it happened? That's when it happens again. I notice a bizarre shape in my peripheral vision. Bleed. I turn to catch a glimpse as fast as possible, but it's already gone. If my heart could beat faster right now, it would be jumping out of my chest. It's disconfronting. I've been seeing these apparitions ever since I turned into this. It's your gift, lady. It's your gift. The worst part is I feel they're always there. Even as a mortal, they were there sometimes, in the corner of my eye, disappearing when I tried to look directly at him, making me think it was just my mind playing tricks on me. But when you're a part of the Night Clan, there are times they don't disappear. There are times they talk. There are times they try to force you to do their bidding. And worst of all, no, I don't want to think about it right now. Still, in my experience, they aren't exactly, conspicuously malevolent. This one is particular. I was trying to help. I open the book on the first empty page and look around to make sure nobody's staring. Then I cut myself using a razor I keep in my pocket just in case. It's not a deep slice. I just want to let a droplet of vitae fall on the page. That's when the letter appears. Look at me, clown. No longer confident that any of my people can be trusted, I turn to a spick, a Camarilla Spick at that. The hell is a spick? Deserved contempt. As above, so below. What are you for, my boy? Laughing at me? Ridicule is all I deserve. I guess that's what's wrong. Agathon. Come on, don't just stand there like an idiot. You wanna say something? Say it. What the hell? This is the last thing I expected to happen. This diary is haunted. Ooh, boo-hoo-hoo. A series of quickly changing sentences and images composed of shadows and blood give me a window into another reality. It's not an objective view. It's like scattering remains of emotions, similar to a half-remembered dream full of holes, but an honest expression of one's mind. Might it be interacting with me? This is just a hypothesis, but I don't know what else it would show me. Why else would it show me Callahan? And was that Ellis Island? Right. This time I don't even look in its direction. The voice makes me feel oddly confident that I need to do. I pick up the feather that was in the diary and I dip it in my vitae. Then I write down. Compassion, confusion, contempt. Let's say compassion. Let's try compassion. You may call me whatever names you want. I will still pity you, old man. Well, ain't that mighty grand of you? I don't know what letters are missing there. I see what you are. In some ways, compassion for the likes of me is probably the worst gift you could get. Hey, 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 hey. Feeling of having feeling of having hit the jackpot. It doesn't feel like this is the way these events took place. It's more like a way to explore Agathon's emotional truth about the way it all unfolded. Ah, so it didn't happen this way. Interesting. In any case, the diary is reacting to me, and some shade of truth is better than nothing. It's a handy tool, and if I use it right, I might find some clues that could aid me in my investigation. Now, a few thoughts floating around in my head, like alien entities trying to make their way out. Is that also an effect of the diary's power? Let's try. Death, destiny, dream. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's try death. It is fear of death that drove you to contact me. Don't be ridiculous. I've been ready to die since before you came out of your mama's womb, boy. No, I fear something worse. So then you heard about their plot. Yes. I wasn't afraid of it. It would fail and leave me for final death. I was afraid it would succeed. God damn it, what are you two talking about? Why did you meet? Explain. Endure. Endure. We just need to endure. I told you what I know. And that should buy us some time. I'll see what else I can find. Time? There is no time. We're not dealing with dumb fucks like you. We have to act like we've already been FD'd out. Act fast. For all I know, they might have already ordered our death. I am the Height Regent's pupil. I've been her right-hand man for years. There's no way she'd allow for me to... You dumb cock... suckers, maybe? Maybe. Cock munchers. You dumb cock muncher. The moment she sees you as a failed experiment, she's going to treat you the way she treats all her fucked up experiments. Blood running cold. All the scribblings disappear. Another set start taking their place. The diary conjures an image of a completely different place. I instantly get a feeling of deja vu. Here's the place you were just in there for like 15 minutes. I process the space differently. The atmosphere is different, more familiar, homely. But this is unmistakably the Tremere Chantry I visited earlier tonight. And standing there is just the person I'd expect. Aisling Sturbridge. Looks like that's it for my meeting with Callahan. Damn it. But what if the person he was talking about and eliciting a strong emotional reaction was Aisling? The diary awaits my next command. Why, when, who? Why? Let's try why. High Regent, why? Why? You can't be serious. These experts need resources, and I won't be able to provide all the needed materials in a reasonable time frame by myself. It's a quid pro quo, and it's not like my research isn't helping all children in a run. I don't feel comfortable being part of this at all. I always thought we were busy with science, not politics. These are the words of a child, Agathe. Science has always relied on politics, and politics on science. Not like this, High Regent. Don't embarrass me, Agathon. Not like this. The moving scribbling disappears again. I hastily let another drop of blood fall on the page. That appears this time. It's yet another familiar face. Mr. Thomas Arturo. Ah, yes, Agathon. What is it that you wanted to tell me? Fuck you. Go to hell. You goddamn rat. I don't think any of these... You goddamn rat. Beg your pardon. The harpy vanishes. Yeah, right. As if I could ever gather courage to say this to your face. Yeah, I wouldn't have picked this one. I wouldn't have picked any of them. If you're like a low dude there. But at least, the least I can do is try to stab you in the back. Good old knife in the back. The diary ends here. I spill a little more vitae on the page, but it no longer works. I suppose that's it. Still no idea what happened to Agathon. Is he alive? Or is he dead? He's probably dead. And you're seeing his goddamn ghost. He's dead, no doubt about it. There's just too many powerful folk involved, and everything I've seen in Tahiri feel like a noose tightening around his neck. I choose to believe he's dead because that's the most rational thing to do. I suppose Dakota is right. I'm a half-empty buzzkill. And he also got a trait. And what trait is that? No, this is with the dictionary. Back. No, glass half empty. Hello. Okay. I guess that means I'm a pessimist. The goddamn ghost, man. Isn't that his ghost giving us all the things? In any case, I think it's time to pay a visit to the butthole. Yes, let's go to the butthole. I know Arturo tends to leave the Elysium quite often to take in fresh air and message people on his BlackBerry. So I'll wait until I see him again. Jesus. People on the BlackBerry in 2019 or 2020? The tactic works. He's surprised to see me. Someone wrote this before 1920. 2020. 1920. A lot earlier. When were Blackberries still in vogue? He's wearing that outside. Stupid mask. Miss Wolski, shouldn't you be busy with your investigation? I am, actually, which is why I came to see you. That's peculiar, because I'm absolutely sure I have nothing to do with this case. Are you barking up the wrong tree? That's what I'm here to find out. I assumed you would want to see... Yes, sure. I suppose it's commendable. See it through. What is it, then? I have reasons to believe that in the last few months you, the High Regent Aisling Sturbridge, and her child, Agathon, were involved in a secretive scheme. His expression changes ever so imperceptibly, but the difference is palpable to me. For the first time ever, he looks at me as a person. Up until now, I was a very amusing diversion. Now I'm something more, and he doesn't like it. What gave you that idea? I'm not at liberty to say. If you really want to know, ask the sheriff. Oh, of course, Kadir doesn't know anything, but he's the only one in the court that Arturo has repeatedly failed to influence. He'd think twice before approaching him. I fail to see how this matter relates to the task at hand. I have every reason to think that Baron Callahan was involved and that he might have grounds to fear for his life because of said scheme. He's tense now. Do I have the upper hand? Miss Swinsky? Please answer the question. The delicate matter you are speaking of has absolutely nothing to do with Baron Callahan's grim fate. It is a strictly confidential affair. It would be wise of you to stop pursuing it. It would be wise of you to fuck off. I can't be an investigator if I'm not allowed to properly investigate. This matter is unrelated to your work. Should be treated as such. I am 100% convinced Prince Panhand would agree. Shouldn't get on the wrong side of these dudes. If you insist on pursuing it further, we can take it up with the prince and see if her stance differs from mine. But I think you aren't as naive as to waste her time this way. And besides, she'd certainly want you to present the basis for your discovery effort to the court. Could you handle it? Hmm. Hmm. My god, these answers are great. I am so verbose. I have no response. God damn it. I mean, to be fair, if I'm a vampire that sees ghosts and stuff, why wouldn't that be evidence? I mean, we are, after all, extraordinary creatures. Extraordinary witnessing shouldn't be, frowned upon. I thought so. The High Regent inside. She is, but don't worry. Make sure to tell her not to waste your precious time, Miss Swinsky. So that's how you're going to play it, you bastard. Well, I guess you win this round. The strategic retreat is my only choice here. I don't have a full deck of cards yet. But just you wait in a few nights. I'll take my leave then. Yes, do that. And if I may be so blunt, focus on the investigation evidence that aren't utterly imbecilic and suicidal to pursue, miss. I bid you adieu. I curse him under my breath as he disappears inside the butthole. Guess his avenue really is cut off for me, at least for now. 3 names left on the list. I still have some leads to go on. But for now, it's getting late. I should go to St. Peter's and fill my latest report. When I reach the cathedral, Father Leonard is already there. He's not exactly the most punctual person, so I always feel relieved to see him from afar. Time to move in and out before I'm noticed by Benoit. Will this be all? I guess so. I rattled off most of it in a hurry on the way here. I'll come up with more exhaustive report tomorrow. Busy? Look this way, Father. Our wayward girl has finally been recognized by her superiors. Here we go again. Of course he had to sneak up on me. Even if you heard about that, I guess that means every single kindred in the 5 boroughs knows. I know you're an expert when it comes to knowing who's saying what and where, but the last time we met, you promised to share that knowledge with me. Yeah, I was kind of lying. That's the 9th commandment broken, Father. Shouldn't you scold her? Don't involve me in your silly games, Benoit. The way you fall for obvious lies stems from your biggest failing in communication. That is, you only pay attention to what is being said, not the how. That is, booyah, motherfucker, suck it! Annihilated with a absolutely flawless diagnosis. I'm sure that's how you would say it. Child, don't make me regret sliding with you. I'm sorry, Father, it won't happen again. Especially if you promise to keep verbally destroying this clown. You're in a strange mood, child. Get some sleep. Yes, we'll continue this tomorrow. Not showing up here tomorrow. Yes, you are. Stop breaking the ninth commandment. Ah, that's good. That was a good one. See you around, Julia. He says my name in a sickly wet way that gives me the creeps. I bow to the Father Leonard, but do my best to ignore Benoit and head for Dakota's place. It's not even our place. It's Dakota's place. I mean, okay. Finally, my heaven. Hey, hey. Another tough night. You don't know the half of it. You wanna drink? She points to her neck. I manage to summon a faint smile. I'd love to, but, we can't do this too often. Maybe tomorrow. Wanna talk then? How often can you donate blood? It's not very often full blood. I know you can donate plasma. Something like maybe once a month or something. Because they put the rest of the blood back when you donate plasma. Only the plasma part of the blood. But when you donate all the blood, I think it's like a couple of months. I think you can only like donate 2 or 3 times a year. I don't remember. Yeah, gross. Not about work, okay. I sit next to her. Not about work, got it. What's on your mind then? The past, I guess. Meaning? How spotty our memories are. How despite that, that's what we build our convictions on. Sorry, it's so banal. I'm just tired and frustrated. Well, let's talk about something more specific then. What do you remember about the time we first met? The time we first met? Yeah. Shit. Not a lot, actually. There were gloomy, anxious days. I think I subconsciously replaced most of them with blank spaces. I remember you trying to paint your hair black. Ouch. Don't dig up my trauma now, okay? I remember that when we first talked, we talked about Hansu. Don't say Hansu. It's low-key racist, I think. I have no idea what that means. Nobody ever knows what you mean by Hansu. By house. And that show is with the asshole doctor. So the Japanese haunted house horror film that feels like it's been written by a 7-year-old with ADHD. Oh, so it's a movie. In the best way. In the best way, duh. We're arguing which characters from the movie both us are. You were Kung Fu and I ended up being Proof, which was rude. You were dressed up like a total nerd. Not my fault. What was the deal with that suit? Oh, she still had the suit. I like that suit. Yeah, it was okay. I remember helping you out with graphic design whenever you needed it. Funny, I remember you needing help with writing as something that tended to happen far more often. Yeah, we developed a fun shared aesthetic with similar surface connections, and it bounded us together even before we made sure we were fully compatible deep down as human beings. Hell, I'm still not sure we are, especially now with me not being a human being anymore. But hey, at least we both agree that this bedroom feels super comfy. I remember always feeling left out of our social circles. Always knocking at the door from the outside. Oh, forget it. My social circles were full of out of touch, snobby assholes. Yeah, but it did feel weird how much they avoided me. And there was that time with Isabella. All of a sudden, one thing Isabella said at that one party flashes in my mind with startling clarity. After midnight, in that kitchen, without context, she just walked up to me and. She will isolate you, she will suck you dry, and she'll move on to the next target. That's the only thing she knows. Ugh, don't remind me of Isabella. She always resented me. It's been so long, and it's all baseless conjuncture now. But what if? What if she really did isolate me on purpose back then? Glass half empty, my ass. Something is off here, and that might be part of it. Can't rule that out, at least. I don't say anything, but it's worth keeping in mind for the future. Being naturally suspicious is a virtue, whatever the coda says. Let's just try to carry on as nothing happened. Yeah, forget Isabella. Let's just drop this talk. I'm frustrated enough. I need a rest. Sounds like a good idea. Off to sleep. Yeah, I gotta get back to hell tomorrow. Alright, get back to work. You're working remotely again? Yeah, my office is going insane for many reasons. And I'm getting cabin fever too. Get some sun. Might be good for you. Look who's talking. Good night, sunshine. Good night. Yeah, let's rest, I guess. A few minutes after I wake up, I see a message slipped under the apartment floor door. Kadir? Yep. It looks like he got a short window to meet me in Queens a few hours ago. Will it point? A single suggestion. Get ready for action. Fine then, I will. Best way to do it would be to clear my mind. Just walk without thinking. Reset the framework. Some fresh air should do it. Maybe a chance meeting with someone could get me out of this mental rut. Let me look at the world from a different angle for a while and improve my mood. Although when it comes to improving one's mood, nobody beats some crimson red pouring down my throat. Not to mention those cigarettes taste best with a full stomach. Let's go. Can pick between these two people. That's my table. There's no place like home. I need a little peace. The big beat burger. Here I come. But wait, who's this loon? Someone at my table. Interesting. What this guy? Hide and seek for dummies. I've been tailed. The last thing I need right now is a weirdo stalker following my every step. Did I take this investigation Too far down the rabbit hole. Eeny, meeny, miny. She looks like she's being beaten up. Is that the lady we sucked before? Anyone know? Let's go with this guy. I'm sure there's better ways of fighting solitude than wandering aimlessly in the endless. There are nights when I drive straight into the thickest, is that a word? Thickest crowd and vicariously enjoy their sweat, their hypnotic moves, and mindless self-indulgence. When my body starts to resonate with a relentless wall of sound, everyone disappears and I am raptured into a perfectly kind of isolation. Then, there are those nights when I crash on the couch while Dakota goes on a rant about something so far removed from my area of interest, I zone out and enjoy the privacy of my own thoughts. But there are moments like this one. Nights when I just want everyone to shut the fuck up so I can think. Those nights I usually end up mindlessly strolling along the rain-swept streets before inevitably ending up at the Big Beat Burger. Or at least that used to be the norm before this whole mess. Lately, even that kind of solitude seems out of my reach, especially when I'm being tailed by a poor man's Ethan Hunt on a crash diet. He's been following me for 10 minutes, and so far, he has managed to bump into an empty newsstand, make enemies of several cab drivers, and even got bitch slapped by a living statue while trying to blend in. Sigh. As he shortens the distance, I grab a nearby lamppost and swing myself around like Gene Kelly, using the momentum to quickly turn around and look right at him. Hell no. He springs up into the nearest alley. I wonder if he thinks that somehow I didn't notice. Make sure he knows you noticed. Just keep walking. Hang around in silence. A minute of silence. He must have given up. I want to walk away when an obnoxious voice not belonging to the creep catches my ear. It's coming from the same alley. It's followed by a loud crash, which sounds like the metal side of a garage dumpster, followed by a painful moan. Maybe the stalker got himself in trouble. Not my problem. Grab help. Check it out. I should let that creep deal with this himself. I should, but I won't. I can't have a moment's rest in this goddamn city, can I? As I barge into the alley, I notice two hooded jocks bullying my scrawny stalker. While the big guy wrestles with a high-tech smartphone, the leaker one, keeps punching. How nice of them to share responsibilities. Fuck them up. Turn them against each other. Scare them away. Ooh, this one's interesting. The roughneck notices me, drops the phone and looks into my eyes. Big mistake. He freezes in place as I bore into his mind. Grab the little guy and keep running east as far as you can. The fog stiffens, like it's the first time a complex idea has ever poured into his head. He turns toward the mortified buddy, grabs him, kicking and screaming, and takes off like a cartoon caveman with a kidnapped bride slung over his shoulder. Their struggle seems so comical or out of place in this dingy alley, I can't help but chuckle. That was a good choice. I like it. I pick up the peculiar smartphone on my way over to the stalker. It doesn't take a genius to figure out it belongs to him. The screen is locked and glitches oddly as soon as I touch it. No surprises there. The stalker seems relieved, but at the same time unnerved by the fact I'm holding his property. He tries to exhibit some confidence, but his trembling voice undermines his effort. Listen, I don't want to sound ungrateful or anything, but I'd like that back. It's not like you can use it anyway, right? The nervous smirk on him, already punchable face, kind of makes me wish I'd left him to his own devices. I am of two minds about handling over something I could use to gain leverage over a sleazy asshole who's been stalking me. God knows how long. Tease him a little. Threaten to break the phone. Hand it over. Let's tease him. What, this little thing over here? Yes, that little thing. Give it back. Are you sure you want it back? Looks so tasteless and dorky. Overwhelmingly dorky. Wearing a Star Trek t-shirt to an opera dorky. Like Elon Musk probably thinks it's chic and cool dorky. Well, I guess Elon Musk is a dork. Okay then. I ain't joking. Didn't see that. I almost dropped it right into the storm drain. Shit, that was close. Oh, for fuck's sake, come on. My boss will disembowel me on the spot if something happens to that phone. Say the magic word. Jesus fuck. Yeah, okay, please, please, can I have it back? The second he tries something, it goes back into my hand under my heel. There you go. He catches the phone with the liveliness of a little boy getting his first video game console. Thanks, Jules. I really appreciate that. He knows my names and makes a point of bragging about it. Not particularly subtle. Why the fuck are you following me? And you with the camarilla. Are you with the camarilla? Did something tell you to watch my steps? He looks confused. When I mentioned the sect's name, I realize after the fact that I was probably a real stupid thing to say to a random creep. Not sure what a camarilla is. Sounds tasty. But my boss is an important guy. You want to be on his good side, let me tell ya. That said, he doesn't tell me anything. I don't need to know. And all I know is he wanted me to keep an eye on you tonight. Something, something, you're being watched, something, something, powerful friends. That's the bet you got. You're not getting anything else from me. If you want to finish with those alley rats, what those alley rats started, go ahead. But you'll be wasting your time, Jules. The loser seems to brace for a hit, contorting his face into a confusing grimace, which was probably meant to express bravado. Not going to give him the satisfaction. Fair enough, but call me Jules again. And this time you lose your phone, and you'll need a proctologist's help to find it. Kinky, ain't ya? I'll see you later. You won't if you know what's good for you. He doesn't respond. He limps away. I realize that the rain is slowly letting up, and, once more, I am left with more questions than answers. C'est la refrain de la vie, de ma vie. I decide to go on with my night and focus on the relief that comes with realizing I am not a voyeuristic object of some creep's interest. Been there, done that. Wouldn't recommend. Time to get a move on. It's time to get back to work. I step inside the subway and head to my meeting with Kadir. Oh, for fuck's sake, I thought you were kidding. Nope, I couldn't reach her. But now I know for a fact Hope is here. He's pointing into the direction of the double spiral building. And what's she doing there? I understand she's the current leader of the company, acting CEO to be exact. You're pulling my leg. Of all the places in this city, the company that brags about creating IT solutions of the future, always surrounded by rumors of monstrous workers' abuse, all sorts of ethical violations, trading information with governments, and ending with career of a certain promising journalistic and professional fuck-up who attempted to investigate them seriously. It's nice we're going back to that. You might be able to ask her both professional and personal questions, two birds with one stone. I don't get it. Last time I checked, the company belonged to Kara Montgomery. I'm told she quietly took a sabbatical a few months ago. And it sure looks like the kind of sabbatical you don't come back with from. Final death? Very possible, but I have no idea. I remember I was shocked when I first learned that one of my nemesises back in my old life was a vampire all along. Then I realized her position made her untouchable to me. I was beyond mad. Well, whatever happened, it couldn't happen to a nicer person. What about her brother, Jesse? You're asking me? Last time I checked, you were the expert on this company. And I just handled the basic intel for you, even though I shouldn't even really be here. Yeah, I hope you realize I'm grateful. You'd better be. So is Hope just another corporate shock? Well, she's a child of Carter. A theatrical pause. She smiles as she sees me wince. But very much unlike him, he took her in for her particular multifaceted talents related to the internet, knowing how he's hopelessly behind the times in that regard. I hear she's been unruly, though. Well, unruly is good. I can work with unruly. So you're telling me she might not be a stuck-up startup bitch? What a sentence. What a description. Stuck-up startup bitch. It's like up a notch, down a notch bitch. Language. As I've told you a few times now, when it comes to the internet, just assume I haven't the slightest idea. I'm getting myself there. I haven't been able to check my email for 5 months. I have no idea what kinds of BBs are talking about most of the time. The kids at the BBB. Alright, because she can't use technology. I mean, I get the smartphone, but maybe get yourself a... Wouldn't a keyboard work? My God, I might be getting old. Don't worry, the moment you realize you don't give a damn about most fads you've cared about for years ago is a liberating one. Been there, done that, at the beginning of the 20th century. But to be fair, technology is so ingrained nowadays that, well, You can't even really... You can't keep up the Masquerade, I don't think. Most people have a phone. I mean, she can't even use the TV. I guess that's how you root out vampires. Old. Anyway, you'll probably hear Hope's story straight from the horse's mouth. I don't have much time, so I'll get straight to the point. You shouldn't be looking at anything in the main building. It's just a front. Ignore it. What you want to do is use the elevators to get to the lowest floor of the building. Psst. I heard stories about double spiral basement, but I had no idea what to make of them. Every source told me a different rumor. Did any of them tell you a rumor about an army of underground ghouls? No, but I'm all ears. Double Spiral employs an army of ghouls as cheap workforce. They work and live underground, away from prying eyes, with lesser rights than a regular kin employee. Perfect for business. Wow. I'm actually speechless for a second. I have profoundly low expectations at that company, but every time I learn something new about what's going on behind the scenes, I am still surprised at the level of scumbuggery at play. I'll leave the moral judgments to you. In any case, you need to reach room number 507, where the CEO supposedly resides. What would these vampires do in a cyberpunk world, man? They would be dead. How would they handle Johnny Silverhand? I mean... And then... Get Hope to answer your questions. His old-timey flip phone vibrates. Oh, so I do have a phone. Speaking of, if you've got any left for me, it's now or never. Anything. Huh? I am needed at the butthole now. Where's the security? Can't I just ask her normally about Callahan? Would I be wasting my time here if you could? Officially, she's not even there. Won't even answer my calls. You need to force her hand. Will she be willing to talk? I trust you to be persuasive. The phone vibrates again. Well, that's it for me. Arturo is pestering me to show up at the Elysium 5 minutes ago. Tell him I kindly suggest he should go fuck himself. Not in 1,000 years. Well, good luck with your mission, soldier. With a mock salute, he disappears inside his car and drives away. Yeah, how does a car work, man? Yeah, I won't be able even to drive a car in the future. Will be high-tech, too high-tech to run. She wouldn't be able to drive a Tesla. If the electrics, any EV really. Nothing left for me but to head in. Still, I'm anxious. There are 2 approaches to choose from, and whichever I pick, I'll have to stick with it. If I force my way in and assert my authority, bad cop style, that should make an impression. Bad bitch coming in, the entire court behind her, bluffing her way to victory. Sneaking in politely asking for cooperation seems like a less disruptive, more me option. But it's not like being me has taken me anywhere so thus far. Bust the doors or just go in sneakily. Shit, I kind of wish I could was still stuck in my routine where I didn't need to be doing things like developing a personality. It's a bit of a coin flip, honestly, but I gotta make a choice here. How do I approach double spiral? Let's go aggressive. Yeah, being covert hasn't exactly been working out for me. Time to show him. And myself, I guess, who's boss. As far as I'm concerned, out of all the companies in the world, this one deserves to be thrown out of gear the most. Time to be bad cop and finally get somewhere. Alright, let's do this. I enter for the front door. There's a guard watching the security cameras. He stands up, expecting me to state my business. Shut up, I'm expected. It's not hard to fuck with his mind. He gives me a confused nod, slumps in his seat, and zones out. I enter the elevator and press the button to the lowest floor. I pump myself up as the elevator descends. Hello, double spiral. Time to make a mess. When I leave the elevator, I immediately head into the corridor in front of me and announce my presence. Yo, anybody home? Big bad kindred out here. Better answer before I start making a mess. A pink-haired girl approaches from one of the corridors, looking quite angry. Probably one of Hope's ghouls. Stop right here. Who the hell are you? Julia Sowinski, the La Sobra representative for New York City. Who the hell are you? I am Nastia, Double Spiral, head of security. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Wrong. You're going to have to make me leave. I walk past her. She tries to catch me and stop me, but evading her grasp is child's play. Ghouls, I swear to God. Boss, we got a problem. Some lunatic waltzed right into the office floor, claiming she's a lass. The door at the end of the hallway is made of reinforced glass. I focus all my strength and kick it in, interrupting the girl. Tell her I'll be right there. She's the only one I want. I reach the double spiral offices there, just like Kadir said. Hordes of ghouls are slaving away for their company. Deep learning, spyware, social media manipulation, yada yada. The important thing is they don't even turn away from their displays as I keep sweeping gadgets off their desks onto the floor, making Nastia madder and madder. Don't make me use force. Maybe she can use the force. Oh, I'd love to see you try, ghoul. Even if you manage to put me down, I'd love to see you explain it to the sheriff, my direct superior. Listen, lady, I don't know what it is that you want. You've already told us. I already told you, stupid, I want your boss. She's not here. Kara Montgomery is taking a sabbatical. Don't play fucking games with me. I want to see Hope. Hey, you. Goofy looking glasses. Guy wearing a anime t-shirt. Where can I find room 507? He raises his hand listlessly, pointing me in the right direction, prompting Nastia to kick her hair in frustration. I head that way and eventually reach the corridor I was hoping to find. I slowly walk into the end of the corridor and there it is, room 507. The door looks harder to take care of than the other ones in this place. Probably won't be able to take care of it the same way I did the others. The door of the office of the current double spiral CEO. This fucking company. I get pissed off, but I'm trying to control it. There is a camera by the door. If she knows what to look for, she can probably see I'm here on her screen. Just to make sure I knock on the door. Hope, I am a Camarilla detective and I need you to answer some questions. Hope, I know you're in there. Open the door. I will not leave until you do. I'm here on behalf of the Sheriff of New York City. Hope? I keep prodding the door and calling her name. After a minute or two, a voice rings out in the intercom. Is this thing on? I guess it is. All right, got your message loud and clear. I will meet you in the offices. I'll be right there. In the meantime, please refrain from making a mess of our offices, will you? Knowing poor Nastia, if she was due for a heart attack, you might have had it by now. Thank you for your cooperation. Be right there. What's up? Ooh. She is quite tatted up for a CEO. On one hand, clothes you could reasonably expect to find on any CEO wardrobe. On the other, a body covered in tattoos, flashy jewelry, dyed hair, and wild makeup. Yeah, I thought so too. The thought that she might be yet another CEO playing the nonconformist crosses my mind, but she strikes me as someone who's more than happy to live in her own little... Still, I won't be fooled. She's the boss of the double spiral. So, how did you find me? Sheriff Kadir Al-Asmai did. You might have to ask him. I take out a new cigarette without thinking. You can't smoke in here, lady. Just let her. Don't treat me like I'm your enemy. I come in peace. Peace my ass. A deep, relaxing drag. Not my fault you couldn't handle me. I had at least 5 opportunities to subjugate you. I just chose not to, because I had a hunch the boss might benefit from seeing you. Ah, you trust your hunches that much. Hunches have gotten me every job I had. Hunches saved my life any time I got into a messy situation. These days, the reality is too complicated to rely on anything else. Can't find a better head of security than our Natasha. Her hunches are the main reason why. They are like a sixth sense. Don't I know you from somewhere? Don't know. A club, maybe? Yeah. She was in the club. Yeah, last year you've got a memorable aura. Ah, she was the girl puking? Yeah. I DJ and help out there from time to time. Gotta show my face if I want to make it big. Why don't you focus on that? Following that career path doesn't exactly seem compatible with being head of security for Double Spiral. And not just because the skill sets are so different. Natasha looks at Hope. Working at Double Spiral provides a lot of benefits. Someone who relies on the internet for promotion, lady. The slow aging is just a nice perk. Lovely chat, girls. But I'd love it if you would save it for later. I'm the CEO now, and I have a lot of duties I must pretend to handle. I just need to ask you a few questions. Sure. Yeah. Call me if you need me. I have a weird hunch about this one, too. You have a weird... What gave you that hunch, Nastya? The way I made a mess of your entire floor you were supposed to protect. We'll talk security later. Don't worry, this shit happens. For now, take 5. Nastya leaves, and I am left alone with Hope in the corner of the office. It feels funny to stand here in front of you. Oh, why is that? You people had me fired from my job before I was embraced. Ah, I see. You are that Sawinski girl from the Lodestar. Yeah. Somehow I never put 2 and 2 together. So you're the La Sobra representative for this city now, huh? Is she taking me in? She keeps tapping her phone. Terrifying speed. I don't feel like I have her full focus, and it's getting on my nerves. Just so you know, I have no idea why you were taken Kara Montgomery's place, and I doubt you'd tell me, but the bitch deserves to burn in hell. Yeah, she does. Wait, did you just admit? Hold your horses. No, Jesus. This is why normal CEO play for PR people talk to them. Hmm. Oh, this is why normal CEOs pay the PR people to talk for them. For them. I only agreed that she was a horrible person in every way that counts, nothing more. Does she know that's what you think of her? Why did she let you take her position in the first place? I'll just cut for the bullshit, okay, Miss Lone Star? I guess that's about Jesse and Cora covering their creepy ass. You spent months on this case, and you'd like some closure, pretty much. Well, here's your closure. Double Spiral has severed practically all ties with them. They don't work here, they get no company money, they probably won't ever show up here again. The company's not their circus anymore, the workers are not their monkeys. I'm in charge now, so yeah. If there's anything you'd like from me, I'm all ears. Bum, 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 bum. It wasn't just Jesse and his sister. This company was ingrained structures of abuse and immoral. I've ordered internal investigation and audits. Blah, blah, blah. I don't have a stomach for all that creepy corporate shit, so I'm trying to steer this ship in the right direction. Don't know what else I can tell you. For fuck's sake. No matter how I look at it, seems like she's done everything I hoped to achieve. The Montgomery clan is over. The Queen Bitch, a symbol of everything that's wrong with the tech CEOs, is gone. Jesse, that perverted embezzling son of a bitch, is gone. I should be glad, so why is there a sinking pit in my stomach? So that's capitalism, huh? It is? I think it's something worse. When I look at the online world, I don't see capital ruling us. I only see incomprehensible vectors, unknown entities, constantly opening and closing various markets of information. This is something worse than that familiar 20th century terminology taught us. I don't know what it is, but it's terrifying, and I'll continue until we gave it a name. But you look like you need emotional support, not my depressing philosophizing. Shit sucks, and I'm sorry. The biggest case in my professional life, solved by some weirdo who fucked Kara and Jesse over in presumably underhanded ways. It doesn't get more anticlimactic than this. Fucking hell. I want to ask her how she did it, but why would she tell me? All I can guess is that she's an outcast who decided to get her hands dirty and obtain power to do something she considered good. Something I've always been afraid to do. Anyway, I feel for you, but I have a lot of work to do, so if this wasn't just a trip down memory lane and you have another question, speak up or forever hold your peace. Okay. I feel like a car just ran me over, but I need to keep my shit together. Alright. A few days ago, the Anarch Baron was found dead in his office. Are you familiar with the case? Douglas Callahan, of course I'm familiar. Every kindred online is talking about it. Ah, so the electronics thing is just me? What are they saying? They're accusing everyone. I mean, it is the internet. Are they accusing you? Why would they do that? I found a peculiar note in Callahan's remains. It had your name on it. Huh? What do you say about this? Nothing. I never met the guy. I've never even seen him. He wasn't my crowd. Then why would he have a note with your name in his pocket? Why were Walt Disney's last words Kurt Russell? No clue. That was... what? Is that true? That would be kind of funny if that was true. Okay then. What? Kurt Russell! I watch her closely, but nothing suggests she's hiding anything. Well, the note actually contained 3 other names, and nothing else. Agathon D'Angelo Tamika. Ringing any bells? Her finger, which hasn't stopped moving across the phone since I saw her, freezes. Yeah, it kinda does, actually. It is a short list of promising unaffiliated kindreds that were making the rounds in NYC a few months ago, in case anyone needed a hero for hire. I didn't know Callanan had it. I know Sophie Langley did, as well as a few Primogen. Not sure about the Anarchs. Who could have prepared the list? One of the local information brokers? A short but telling pause. Anonymous? How anonymous? Sort of anonymous. She's obviously conflicted about whether she should tell me, or maybe she's pretending so that I worm it out of her. Making a mess of her office is work, so I might as well put on the tough guy act. I have nothing against them, Anonymous, or it's in my best interest to hurt them, Anonymous, because if it's the latter, we might be in business. She briefly considers her options, then gives up. It's my sire, Carter van der Weyden. Oh. He's brokering information. Everyone knows becoming the Prince of New York is his ultimate goal, and that he wants to make friends in all the high places. Sharing useful intel is a pretty effective way to achieve that. So you're telling me that he, a Malkavian Primogen, sold this list to an Archbaron? Sure looks like it. Why would he suggest this, that his own child did, to somebody? To have a person on the inside. Just another way to further his information web. Wouldn't they realize you two are close? The story goes around, he left me alone and I hate his guts. Well, at least half of that is true. He hates you. He hates his guts. She's talkative. Probably sees me as a way to undermine Carter. Let's see how much information I can push her. How much further I can push her. I was wondering how someone like you could control a company like Double Spiral. I suppose a friend in high places could explain it. Yeah, lucky me. Not happy about being a boss. Not happy about being a boss, a girl boss, leading one of the biggest IT companies in the country. A boss, huh? She stares at a dozen displays on the wall in front of her. Do you remember the Y2K era internet? Jesus, I barely remember the internet at all. My people can't really use it. Oh, so maybe it's the La Sobra dudes. But yeah, I guess I sort of remember forums, GeoCities, browser wars, all those handmade amateurish websites. It was a golden age. Everyone was welcome to freely express their creativity and obsessions in this abstract new frontier. No formulated ideas, no formulated rules. Every site was a distinct new universe to explore. You know, as a child, for some reason I kept saving every web page that moved or changed me in some way. I don't know why I did it, but today, a folder with these is one of my greatest treasures. I guess, what was it? It's the Internet Archive, you can use that. Fast forward to today, I am the boss of a company that has one overarching goal, steer the whole internet narrative in every possible way that benefits the Camarilla. And because the online world is so fucked right now, I can do it using only 5 websites or so. Every day I deploy thousands of believable sock puppets to force some belief on the masses. Right now they are being managed by these ghouls. Soon they will be partially managed by AI. Ah! Neat. Is it ChatGPT? Especially an all-American version of the Chinese 50-cent party. What? 10 cent? A new pattern of public opinion guidance. Ever since I was a teen, I pretended to be different people online for fun, aping the posting patterns of others, something I turned out to be horrifyingly good at. And I became even better at it after the embrace. Something about the voice of the Malkav in my head. After several years, I became a one-person internet empire. I could impersonate everyone. It's kind of weird that this is like the first game in this Vampire the Masquerade series I play. I'm not even sure it's the first in the visual novels. So it's somewhere in the middle. We're going to catch glimpses of the universe. I dream of tulips, a humble florist from Chattanooga, who strive to share positive energy with their audience using photos of beautiful bouquets, motivational quotes, and the occasional The Office gif. Vulva Humph, a single mom in Brighton who reckons all these trans women must be bonkers and spends seemingly every waking moment of her life having a row with anyone who disagrees. Volva. Polygon classicist, a 19-year-old kid from Utah who keeps posting Y2K 3D renders of poorly proportioned, scantily clad ladies and telling his audience to remember what they took from you. Don't even know what that means. Somehow, this talent got me here. There is no longer fun, but work. Work I usually entrust to these ghouls because of all my duties. I want out before my entire fucking mind gets monetized. But Carter won't have that, so I keep doing my best. Both him and Double Spiral investors. So that's why she wants me to look at him. I assume most of your operations focus on New York City. A lot of them, yeah. How do you imitate a New Yorker's voice with all these sock puppet accounts? Living in Manhattan and being mentally unstable makes this shit easy. To a normal, well-adjusted person from the outside the city, everyone here looks mentally unstable. Ever watched that 9/11 Howard Stern show? No. Check it out someday. It's educational. Ask anyone in New York City about it, and they're like, it was a great bonding moment. He was helping us make sense of everything. He kept saying what we were all thinking. Then you listen to it, and it's everyone yelling that we need to nuke something, maybe the entire world. Get rid of all the Muslims. Fuck human rights, no investigations, take their oil. Cheery. You watch it, you study it, you witness that specific brand of humor in face of tragedy, and you understand that nothing outside of New York City really exists for the people who live here, or the vampires. A foundational text, really. Whenever I need to get into that New York City mindset, I let it play in the background. Works like a charm. Seriously, give it a shot sometime. Someday I might. For now, I think I will confront Van der Weyden with what you've told me. Or is that what you haven't told me? What's the story? Me? Of course I haven't told you anything. You're such a good investigator, you'll figure it out by yourself. And if he asks, just tell him Kaiser sold you the info. That should do the trick. I see. Thank you. What for? I did nothing. Let Nastia show you out. And if you don't know Weiden's address, just ask her. Well, I guess that is for now. I'll get to the reading of this thing. Another time, another place. Boop. Goodbye.